So in this video we will be covering basics of problem solving with respect to digital signal processing. So first we will be seeing the representations, the various representations of DTS in DSP. So the first two representations are function representation and graphical representation. In function representation, the signal is given as a function where the particular values for each value of n are specified. So for this function, your signal comes out to this. And here the arrow indicates the value of n is equal to 0. So we can assume that this is for all n is equal to -1 and so on, and here it is n is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. Similarly, in graphical representation, you will be given a graph and you can get the values like this. So for 0 we have 4 and so on. So for 5, 1, and you get this signal. Next two representations are tabular representation and sequence representation. So for tabular representation, you get a table with value of n and the corresponding x of n value. And sequence representation is what we've seen so far, which is basically a sequence or a set with an arrow indicating where the origin or 0, n is equal to 0 lives. Here we have different, even in sequence representation, we have different forms. For example, it could be indefinite or infinite, so implying that 0 continues on both sides, or it could be finite with just the given values, or it could go off in one direction. Anyway, all these three represent this tabular representation here. Now that we've seen how it is represented, we will see some common elementary discrete time signals. So now we will be seeing unit sample signal or unit impulse sequence. Here unit sample signal is represented by del of n, where n is equal to 0, the value of del of n will be 1, and for all other values of n it will be 0. So the graph is something like this. Always del of n will represent unit sample signal. For this particular signal and the next few signals we will see, it is important to remember what this represents. Next is unit step signal represented by u of n. So unit step signal implies that 1 exists for all values n is equal to 0 and greater than 0. So from origin and so on up until plus infinity, you will have value of 1 for x of n, and here everything will remain 0. And u of n again will always represent unit step signal. This is something that needs to be remembered. Next, unit ramp signal, u r of n or r of n will basically mean that for whatever value of n it is reflected, x of n reflects it. So for n is equal to 0 you have 0, for n is equal to 1 you have 1. However, this is only on the positive side, and on the negative side it remains 0 for this particular ramp signal. So for exponential signals, x of n is equal to a power n for all n. Here a value need not be an integer. So the first case is 0.5. So for 0.5 power 0 you will get 1, 0.5 power 1 you will get 0.5, 0.5 power 2 you will get 0.25 and so on. However, for a number greater than 1, your graph will increase for a positive number greater than 1. However, if you look in the case of negative numbers, you will see that the graph alternates between positive and negative depending on the power of n. Next, we will see the different classifications for DTS. So energy versus power. So according to this, this energy of a signal x of n is given by this equation. So if we take from the previous case this example 0, 1, 4, 1, 0, where 0 here the origin exists here. When you apply this, you will basically get 1 plus 1 plus 4 power 2, which is 16. So you will get 18. 18 is a finite number. Therefore, if E is finite, then the signal is an energy signal. So therefore, this particular x of n is an energy signal. However, if it is infinite, then it can be a power signal, and therefore it should be calculated using this equation. Make note of this point here. This is important for determining if a signal is a power signal. So here we have the example for power and energy for unit step sequence. So as we saw earlier, u of n, which we already know that is represented by this function. Here we know that E is infinite because it continues as 1 for up to infinity. So because E is infinite, then it is not an energy signal. Therefore, we can calculate for power. So using the previous discussed equation, when we apply u of n in this power signal formula, you get the value 1 by 2. Therefore, because this is a finite value, this unit step signal is a power signal. So another classification is periodic versus aperiodic. For aperiodic signal, it basically means it is not periodic, and periodicity is defined by this formula here. Here a frequency can be calculated as k by n, or the smallest frequency. If f is rational, then the signal is periodic. And also remember this formula which you would have learned already, omega is equal to 2 pi f, where f is frequency. So to explain this further, I have given an example here. X of n is equal to cos 0.01 pi n, where this value is omega. Therefore, omega, which is equal to this, is equal to 2 pi f. Therefore, f comes out to 1 by 200. So applying this formula, we have k is equal to 1, n is equal to 200. And since this is rational, this signal is periodic. And also you can figure out that n, which is the fundamental frequency period, the fundamental period is 200. However, if this did not turn out to be rational, then you can assume that this is an aperiodic function. Now symmetricity, or even and odd functions. So for even functions, we know that x of minus n should be equal to x of n. That is, regardless of value of the n, you should get the same value regardless of the sign symbol. So x of minus 1 here, for example, will give you the same value as x of plus 1. So therefore this is an even function. However, for odd functions, x of minus n should be equal to minus x of n. So if you look here, x of minus 1 is equal to the negative of x of 1. So x of 1 is given here, and the negative, the inverse of this, is the value here. How you need to remember that x of minus n is the mirror image of x of n. Next example for this calculating the odd and even components is given here. So the formula for calculating odd and even components is half of x of n plus x of minus n. So if you're only given x of n such as this, you will have to find x of minus n, and then depending on this formula, you can calculate the even and odd component. So for this, I have given the calculation here of x of n and x of minus n. Now if you add for the even component, if you add x of n and x of minus n, here for example you get 4 and then by 2 implies you get 2. Similarly this will give you 3, 3 by 2 is 1.5. However, for odd component, note that we subtract these two values. Therefore, for example here 0 minus 4 gives you minus 4 and hence you get minus 2. Also remember that the original signal can be retrieved by adding these two components. So this will give you 0 and here you will get 1, minus 1, 2 and 4. So we get this original signal. Thank you.